Today is Yom HaShoah, International Holocaust Memorial Day, the day that the world remembers the 6 million. And in Israel, the siren blared today, and the entire country stood still for 2 minutes to remember the 6 million innocent men, women, and children who were murdered by the Nazis. Well, I'm sitting next to a hero from our synagogue. His name is Mr. William Langfan, and he is 99 years old, and he was a U.S. soldier in World War II and helped liberate the camps, specifically Buchenwald. And today we're living in a day and age that there are Holocaust deniers and people who say that the Holocaust never happened. Well, I wanted to sit today with someone who actually liberated the camps so he can tell us firsthand what he experienced. Because today is all about memory. But how do you remember 6 million people? How do you remember 6 million people that you may not even know their names, where they were born, or where they are buried? We remember families, communities, an entire generation of Jews that were murdered brutally and cruelly, and we vow never again. They tell a story of the Rabbi in the ghetto before the war. He saw a child on the train tracks crying, mumbling words over and over again. He went down to the child on the tracks. He said, "Why are you here?" He said, "Well, just a few days ago, my mother was taken off to the death camps in the cattle cars. And I was holding on to my mother's hand. I wanted to go with her on the train. I didn't want to be separated from my mother. But the Nazis beat me and pushed me back. And I ran back, touched my mother's arm and held it one more time before she left on the train. And she looked at me and she said, 'Yingala, my dear boy, never forget these words. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.'" I'm sitting on these tracks remembering my mother and the last words she shared with me. As Jews, we never forget the 6 million. And we also never forget their prayer of Hear O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. We vow never. We will make sure to always remember them and their sacred prayer. Bill, it's an honor to sit with you today on Yom HaShoah. Tell us, Bill, what did you experience as a soldier in World War II when you came into Buchenwald, and how did that forever shape and impact your life?
Well, first of all, I saw dead Jews on carts. There were several carts. And then I began talking to some of the Jews in my Tzibrocha in Yiddish, and we were able to communicate reasonably well. And they told me that they never knew what was going to happen the next day. They'd say goodnight to somebody, and he wouldn't be there the next day. And we spoke for about 4 hours. And then I had to leave because my outfit was leaving.
And how did that forever shape your life, Bill?
Well, I made sure that I would try to the best of my ability to prevent anything resembling that happening again.
And what's the best way that we as Jews today can make sure that something as tragic, a genocide of 6 million Jews, never occurs again?
We should remember what happened, and we should say that if we stand up and fight, literally and figuratively, it will never happen again.
I know, Bill, that you've devoted your life to supporting Israel. Why is Israel so important to you?
Well, it's the only place in the world that will take a Jew with no questions asked. I'm automatically a member of Israel.
Bill, today the Jewish people all honor the memory of the 6 million, but we also honor you and the brave American soldiers that liberated the camps and remind us this lesson of never forget, never again, and Am Yisrael Chai. Do a mitzvah today in memory of the 6 million. Carry on their life, their love, and their legacy. Be their voice to stand up against evil and anti-Semitism, and let the world know that the Jewish people who miraculously left the death camps and came back to Israel and re-established Eretz Yisrael after 1900 years of exile, the Jewish people will live on forever. Am Yisrael Chai.